Have you ever wondered why Blu-rays are region locked? I know I have. In today's physical media news topic video, we talk about why Blu-rays are region locked in the first place, how this impacts the collecting community out there, and then of course, if 4Ks will ever become region locked. But before we get into the news, if you love collecting physical media just like me and being a part of this amazing league of mega film fans, go ahead and mega smash that subscribe and like. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics. And of course, leave in the comments below if you think 4Ks will ever become region locked. But let's get into this. So first, to get into the information and news on why Blu-rays are region locked in the very first place, just to cover a few of the quick basics here for those that are new to Blu-ray collecting. Region locked means you got a certain Blu-ray that will play on a certain player and a certain region. So if you try to get your Blu-ray collection and move it to another region, it's not just going to play on a standard Blu-ray player over there because the Blu-rays are region locked, at least from what I understand. So I'll throw up a little map that lists off the territories here, but there's regions A, B, and C. Region A is North America, Central America, South America, and some southeastern countries in Asia and Japan. And then you got region B, which is European countries, Africa, Middle East, Australia. And then you got region C, which is the rest of the countries in the Asian territories. And of course, there's more specifics in there, but just look at the grid to look at the different territories there. But that's very important for collectors because in case you're making a big move to another region, you got to know your Blu-rays aren't going to play unless you have a region-free Blu-ray player, or you found a way to unlock the region restrictions of your Blu-ray player, which I think there's ways to do that as well. But you just want to know that in case you do make a big move. But the heart of this video is talking about why are they locked in the first place? And this was just something curious to me that I really wanted to learn more about. So I did some research. I dived into the Reddit feeds to look at some comments. And so I'm just giving out the information I kind of discovered because I thought it was fascinating. So it's pretty much all based on the different economies of these different territories in these regions, because it gives more power to these companies and distributors to really set a fair market price to really maximize the profits of what a Blu-ray can get. Because maybe in a certain region, they can increase the price and it will still sell. Maybe in another region, they have to decrease the price so it will sell. So it's all about making the most out of their profits and really how to set it to the market themselves in the specific economies. That's one reason. There's some other reasons as well. Maybe certain territories want certain versions of the film. They'll only take certain edited versions. Also, there might be extra bonus content only specific for certain regions. So there's a few different factors at play here. Also, release dates is a big one too. Maybe a certain territory gets a release before another territory for some reason or another. But these are all different factors that cause these Blu-rays here to be region locked by these companies. So I just thought that was fascinating in itself, because it does have an impact on people, especially when they move or planning a move. Maybe they don't know about region-free Blu-ray players. So it's just great to get this information out and why they region locked in the first place. That was always a curious question I had when I got into Blu-ray collecting. Now to get into how this impacts a lot of members of the community, because we already talked about that move situation. If you take those Blu-rays to another region, unless you have a region-free Blu-ray player, they're not going to play, which I need to get one myself. Now, why I haven't gotten one myself yet is I just don't know which one to get. So if you guys have great recommendations out there, leave those links in the comments below. If there's one on Amazon, I would love to share that out to the community as well, because I've heard sometimes people will see it says region-free player and then it really isn't. And yeah, I just don't want to, get the wrong one, have to return it, and then try to find another solution. So if you guys have great recommendations, leave those below. But besides the moving factor from region to region, you also have to be aware that different movies get released to physical media in different ways in different territories. And a lot of times there will only be released to certain regions. So if you really want a movie and it's coming out in a different region, well, what can you do as a collector? Of course, you can import it, but that's going to be some hefty fees there. It's always expensive to import. But I did hear of a little trick that you can do is you can go through like a Grindhouse video site, Diabolic, Orbit, and that alleviates those big hefty fees because they'll get a stock of this imported title and then you can just buy directly from them, which is kind of awesome. So you don't have to, spend all that money, and you can use that money for other movies, which is the whole point, right? Trying to save you money on your collecting journey here. Now, you do have to realize as well, if you do import a title, usually there's like a rating sticker in the corner of it, which I know a lot of people don't love. Some people it doesn't bother. To me, it's always irritated me, which I haven't imported yet because of it. I don't know why. It's just my eyes are drawn to the corner, and then it takes away from the rest of the artwork, and it just sticks out like a sore thumb to me. And it just, I can't do it. I can't do it yet. Someday I will probably get over it when there's a Blu-ray imported movie I just really, really need to have. But for now, that sticker can be an irritation. So just be aware of that if you are importing. I heard there's different companies though that have found different ways around it, where it's like they do a plastic cover and the import stickers on there, and then you can tear it off easily, and then you're good with what's underneath. So that's really cool. Different boutique labels do different styles, so you want to keep an eye out for that as well. But then once again, really investing in a region free Blu-ray player. And also, yeah, I mean, those are probably the biggest things that impact the collecting community when it comes to importing. Just a couple tips in there that, make your importing journey a little bit easier. But importing, it definitely opens you up to a wide array of just movie selection and all these different boutique labels that you may have not had access to before. And that can be great because, once again, more variety is always good for movie collectors. But then also know, oh my goodness, it could definitely be dangerous for the wallet because there's so many companies out there trying to sell so many physical media titles that it can get expensive. Now to get into the most important topic here in this video that kind of caught me by surprise when I was going through and researching and seeing all this speculation. Someone said that, hey, will Region 4Ks ever be region locked? And I heard, hey, it is a total absolute possibility. So we're just going to speculate right now. We're not saying they are absolutely going to be region locked. I'm actually probably leaning towards they won't ever be region locked myself for a few different reasons that I'll get into. But just think about it. Why would they want to region lock them? When we talk about why they region lock Blu-rays, it would give them more control over these 4Ks and just be able to kind of maximize their profits a little bit more by adjusting the prices in different territories, and that gives more power and control over to those distributors. So is it a possibility that maybe those distributors want to do this? Yes, it's an absolute possibility. Anything is possible. Now, what I'm leaning towards, they'll probably never do that. It's just because kind of the phase of physical media we're into now, where it's really a collector's market, and it's not like people are just going to grocery store and picking up some 4Ks while they're walking around, right? 4Ks aren't even really for the mainstream mass audiences. They're really for kind of hardcore collectors out there. It's a very premium format, so they kind of know what they're selling when they're selling 4K. So why make it more difficult for people to play and watch 4Ks? I don't think they want to do that. They want to keep collectors in the collecting market as much as possible for as long as possible. And it would be a super shock to the system if, as a collecting community, we learned, hey, now they have a region locked restrictions here for 4Ks. We would be in a total uprising, angerment kind of process here, and that would probably not be good for any of these companies out there, and they would probably lose money because it would probably get people to be like, hey, I'm throwing in the towel on this hobby, I'm getting out of collecting. They definitely don't want to do that. They want to tailor their marketing towards the collectors. They want to keep the collectors happy, so we keep spending our good collecting money for these 4Ks. So that's why I'm leaning towards they won't ever region lock the 4Ks, even though it's a total possibility. I think it's a stronger chance that they're not going to region lock them, just because, like I said, the phase we're in where they're taking out physical media out of stores, and you really can only buy physical media online. And that's probably going to be a transition that happens in the next, who knows, 3, 5, maybe in the next decade. Why make it more difficult for collectors to play 4Ks? So once again, if you haven't hit that subscribe and like button, if you made it through the end of this video, you know you love the content, go ahead and do that. And then of course, leave in the comments below, once again, do you think they will ever region lock 4Ks? Would there be any benefit to these distributors and companies? Would it hurt collectors out there? And then also, what do you think of importing titles in general? Are you a massive importer yourself? What sites do you like to go through? Let's have those fun movie collecting conversations down below. And if you enjoy this physical media topic, go ahead and mega click another video right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters.